Hi everyone. I just thought I'd do a really quick look at the Axon 7 that I received today. And I just wanted to share that with some of you guys in the forum because I know that we like our sound related phones, and give you a quick demo because I think a few guys have been waiting to see how this one performs. I'm no audio expert. I do love audio on phones. I carry audio phones with me. I've got quite a selection, and hopefully I can give you at least a little bit of an insight. Okay, so here's the device. So Axon 7, as you can see, I've got mine in gold. Um, Quick word about it, just to give you some size indications here. This is what it looks like compared to something like an iPhone 6 Plus. There we are. So the iPhone's a little bit bigger. Obviously the bezels are smaller on this, although as you can see the buttons here do take up a little bit of bezel, a lot less bezel at the top there. It's a beautiful looking device, I've got to say, and it's quite a heavy device as well. Fingerprint sensor is on the back there, and the camera. Don't know an awful lot about things like the camera or things like that. Not really my department. And just switch it on there. There we go. So super high resolution screen, all of that good stuff. Can't really use the fingerprint sensor because it's on the back while I leave it on the desk itself. So here it is. As you can see, very quick, well constructed, heavy device. I'm running it with its stock Chinese ROM at the moment. I've converted a few things over to English so I can see what's going on. I've got it actually on a EE SIM, and as you can see here, it's picking up 3G reasonably well. It's a dual SIM phone. Give you a little bit of indication about what it's actually got on board in terms of power. If I just go and have a quick look here about phone, you can see here, if I look at the hardware information, CPU is a 820 Snapdragon. It's got 128 gigabytes of space, and it is a 4 gigabyte phone. There we are. It's not the 6 gigabyte version with the Force Touch screen. I can't think of anything at the moment that would actually get me worked up about something like that for Android. There's nothing out there that seems to take advantage of that, but who knows, maybe in the future we can have something that would be quite good. And I'm sure there's an awful lot more that I could talk about the phone, but really it's just about the way that the phone sounds. As you can see at the top and the bottom here, we've got some stereo speakers, and you'll see as well actually on the device when you go and look at the actual settings, there's a Dolby button, which turns on Dolby on and off. So I would assume that it's some sort of equalizer that's giving it some type of, I don't know, extra bass or extra balance or something like that. And so you can go and you can mess around with a few of those things on the actual device itself. Um, but overall, if I just switch on something to play, so I'm on Spotify here. So I'm just going to be streaming some music. It's nothing I've downloaded. This is not the most super high quality. I'm just streaming straight from Spotify. I've got David Bowie's Black Star on here at the moment, and let me just play a little bit of that and see if we can pick that up a little bit. So you can probably hear that. That's at a relatively low volume. Let me turn it up. So not bad. That's still at full volume, and that's with no tweaking. So it's not bad actually. It's not bad at all when you listen to it compared to some other devices, of course. So as you can hear, it's a pretty good quality sounding phone. But as with all of these things, it depends on what it's up against, doesn't it? So let's have a look at a couple of other devices that have got a bit of a reputation for being pretty good around sound and things like that. So the first one I'm going to bring up is an HTC. This is an M9. Now, I know that the M9 has basically got the worst press recently in terms of its speakers compared to things like the M7 and the M8. But I would go so far as to say that if you're willing to give it a little bit of a tweak, especially if you don't mind rooting the device, I think you can get some pretty decent sound out of it. So here we are with the M9. Shares a lot of characteristics with the Axon. Obviously, it's a little bit smaller. Let's just bring that up. We'll play the same songs throughout this, so we've got some sort of idea where we are. So here we are. Black Star again, David Bowie, and let's play that. So that's a little bit low. Let me turn it up. Now, I think that that's a little bit clearer than the Axon, although I don't think it's as loud. Some of the reason it might be a little bit clearer is that I'm using Viper for Android, which if you are willing to root your device, then is a pretty good addition to getting a little bit more sound quality out of the device. It's a little bit like Boom 2 for iOS and for Mac. So pretty good, pretty good. Okay, let's move on. And let's get to something that's a little bit different. So here we are. We've got a Microsoft or a Lumia 950 XL, and let's see if we can do something similar. So here we are. So we've got Black Star, David Bowie. Now here, of course, I'll just let that play a little bit. There we are. Let me turn it up. Now, of course, that's sitting facing the actual desk itself. And let me turn the phone over. So not bad, not bad. Probably, I think it would be safe to say probably not the best of any of those, but still not bad. And then finally, the Marshal. So Marshal London here. So reputed to be the best audio quality mobile device in terms of speakers. Let's see if it lives up to that reputation still. So let's open it up here. There we are, and let's start off. Let's get to the same part. So there we go. I don't know if that actually proves anything at all, apart from they're all pretty good. But I think if I had to choose, I'd probably be saying that in terms of just an overall device, the Axon 7 is a fantastically good device for the money. And anybody out there that's an Android fan and probably wants to move away from probably using maybe your Samsung or your HTC or your LG, and you want something slightly different, then the Axon, the ZTE Axon, is a great device. And if you like music, if you like sound, then the quality and the volume that comes from the device is really, really good. Currently, it's difficult getting hold of one in Europe, and it's even more difficult making sure that you've got the correct ROM and settings and things like that on them as well, apparently. So be careful about importing one, but if you're willing to import it and take a little bit of a risk, great device. Haven't really tested things like the battery or anything like that, but compared to something like my Galaxy S7 and I'm looking around for it, I can't see it, and I've got a Note 7 as well somewhere. You're looking at a really, really honed device for the money, if you can find it for the money. Um, but in terms of sound, what can I say? It's the Marshall, and it just wins again, and that's great. That's great. I mean, that's what it's designed for, and that's what it does, and it does it really, really well. So, if you're still looking for the perfect speaker, phone, wonderful sound, wonderful software that works with it really well, and something you can just put down on your desk or in your kitchen, listen to some podcasts really clear, or in the car or something like that, the Marshall is still there. For me, I've got to admit, if I could have the Marshall speakers um, and probably a little bit of software in the Axon, I would probably jump over to that in a heartbeat. But for right now, Marshall wins that. Okay, so really, really specific little look at these devices. If anybody's got any questions, want to drop anything to me, as always, I'd love to chat on things like the Google Plus forums. And again, if you've got any questions, let me know. And that's about it for now. Thanks for listening. Cheers. Bye.